Hi, I'm Nick. Welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching this video about how to maybe improve your social media calendaring and how to make it a little more automated. I do a podcast called To a Certain Degree, and I've helped out with a number of others, either producing or co hosting or starting or sometimes just consulting on them. But one thing that gets me every time when I'm talking to people about it is this stuff up here is your social media for your show. It takes a lot of time and effort, or it can take a lot of time and effort. If you want to promote your show and use social media wisely, you have to find a way to be efficient at it. So I want to suggest one way of doing that, which is using a Google Sheet like this, set up like this, where you can post out and figure out what you're going to do and when. The reason for this and why this helps me out at the very least is that it helps me automate things. So out of most of the posts you'll see over the course of the week that I'm going to put on here and show you as examples, almost all of them are automated. So what this has done is turned, maybe a half hour to 45 minutes a day into 1 to 2 hours a week of work. And I can get everything done. I know what I'm doing and I know when it's going to go up. The idea behind this overall is that once a week, depending on how often your podcast comes out, it could be once a month, twice a month, however often, something happens and you want to promote that. And in this case, it's To a Certain Degree. A new episode comes out and I use WordPress to host all my stuff. So I can go right from here to WordPress. I've created a link there and you'll see this none under hashtags. That's going to come up in a second. But the idea here is that you can plug in your calendar for the week and sort of have an overall goal of what you want to accomplish. For this, it's basically just promoting an existing show and maybe doing a little bit of upcoming promotion for the next episode. So you see, I've got all of the social media networks in here. I don't necessarily use them all. Try to figure out which ones are the best for you. You don't have to use all of them. And actually, please don't, because you're just going to wear yourself very, very thin. So on Thursdays at 5 a.m., my episode goes up. So the rest of Thursday is about promoting it. So at 9 a.m., I have 2 posts that go up. One is on Twitter and one is on LinkedIn Business. So Twitter is really useful because you can post things and schedule them with something called TweetDeck. So I go ahead and link everything within this document. So it's a one-stop shop for me. And I'm able to go into TweetDeck. I'm able to drop this down, go to the right account, and put in something, hopefully not that. The other thing that I did here was I actually created a hashtag document within Google, and I linked to that as well. This is a living, breathing document. I edit it every month or two just to make sure that I have the right hashtags that I'm using for posting, whether it's on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. I also keep track of when I do stuff that isn't necessarily what I do in my day-to-day. If I say interview somebody about beer, or I'm talking about the great libraries here that we have in Orange County, then I have these hashtags as well because I've already done the research. I might as well keep that information. So for Twitter, I would copy this. I would go back to TweetDeck. So along with that, I would put that in, potentially add an image, and then schedule when this tweet is going to go up. So as I mentioned, it's Thursday at 9 a.m. So that's the idea behind this. For LinkedIn Business, my business account on LinkedIn, I actually do that one manually just because it's easier to link to whoever I'm interviewing on that social media network. Later on in the day at 1 o'clock, I post to Facebook Business, my business account on Facebook. Again, I'm linking directly to where I would do that on Facebook. And what's nice about this is I can also do this ahead of time and go ahead and schedule this with the Create tool under Publishing Tools. So you go in, Create, Schedule, and you're good to go as soon as that comes up. And that'll be under the Share Now button if you haven't seen that before. As far as the hashtags go, they're all in one document here. Because I actually handle a couple of different properties, you'll see that under this, I have a few of the other things and the other people that I work with. So I might have a link to hashtags for those particular properties. That's the only reason this is laid out the way it is. I would encourage you, I'll go ahead and put this in the description of this document, of this video, I should say, and you're welcome to customize it however you see fit. Again, going off on the rest of Thursday, listen on your ride home. That goes on TweetDeck. And then subscribe. That also goes on Twitter as well. So moving on to Friday. Again, you can do this however you want. I've got a link or video of the song of the week. That's in Facebook Business. I've got some stuff some of these bits from the show, I might pull some video or some audio and put that up on Twitter or Instagram. And with Instagram, what I'm using is Hootsuite. That's free for up to 3 accounts. And it's really useful for me, and it's been really useful for me. I like it very much for Instagram as well, because it actually does it in such a way where it schedules it, but then you manually have to post it in. So that allows me to put my hashtags in a different message, or a different comment, I should say. So I'm able to do this. I get my hashtags from here. I post that in, and then I upload an image. For example, I want this handsome young man to be in there. That's me, in case you were wondering. So that's Hootsuite. That's Friday. Sunday, I've skipped Saturday because what you see on Saturday is really low engagement. And one of the ways I look for these times that I'm using here, these aren't just random times, is by going to a document like this or an article like this. This is from Sprout Social, but there's any number of resources out there that'll tell you when is the best time to post. So for example, for Facebook, this is global engagement. It also breaks it down by a couple of different industries. For example, if you scroll down a little bit, here's for consumer goods. Under that is media. There might be healthcare under that as well. So I'm just looking at this as a guideline, and I might adjust it accordingly based on what I find. So for example, I see that Wednesday at 2 is a really good time to post. Friday at 10. Sunday, like I said, Saturday isn't really a great time. Sunday isn't either, but I was just experimenting with posts on those days as well. So if I go back to the document at hand and not just the picture of me, everyone's going to think I'm just putting pictures of me out there. Here you go again. It's just a preview of an upcoming show. So that'll be for the next one. And then a song of the week. And that could be the same content that I've used up here on Friday. I'm just putting it in a different place. So this is on Twitter. This is on Facebook Business. So what I'm able to do here is use that content in 2 places. I'm posting it with 2 different tools, but it's the same content. So it's the same link. I'm able to do that and reach audiences in a different manner there. Going back a little bit more, if I look at Monday, so we started on Thursday, remember, I actually record my show at 7 to 9 a.m. on WPRK, a radio station here locally in Orlando. So during the show, I'll take a picture of me and the guest, and I'll promote it that way. That evening, because Monday isn't a really high engagement day either, I might post something to Pinterest. And Pinterest is another one where you can go on and actually put in and schedule a post. So you can do that down here. That's Monday. And so just a couple more on Wednesday. So Wednesday, I'm usually promoting potentially an upcoming show the next day. That's on Instagram and that's on Twitter. I might go into LinkedIn, my business account, and put in a podcasting tip. If I've done an article or a video that week, I could do that. And then something that I do manually. So again, you'll see these manuals versus something that can be edited or scheduled, I should say, through a tool. I try to go onto Spotify and put on my Instagram stories a link to the latest episode, because you're able to do that through Spotify and promote it that way. I hope this was helpful. Like I said, this is for promoting one post that week, but this is useful for any number of different ways or different things that you can think of. So if you're hoping to really focus on growing your audience, then maybe this is a lot more, instead of this being sort of just posting about something that's happened, this is a lot more engaging content like questions and polls and things of that nature. But hopefully you can use this. If you do and you change it, I'd love to hear from you. The link will be in the description. And happy podcasting. Have a great day.